All right, let's open up the Strategist Playbook. Today, we're diving into the critical moves that separate the companies that really, truly win from those that just, well, compete. And this isn't just dry theory, you know? It's the art and the science of how businesses outmaneuver each other. So let's get right into it. So let's start with a big question. Have you ever wondered why some companies just seem to skyrocket while others, even with great ideas, just fizzle out? Is it luck? Some flash of genius? Nah. Usually, the answer is a whole lot simpler and way more powerful. It's strategy. It's all about a series of deliberate, calculated choices designed to put them in a winning position. You know, the best way to think about all these choices, it's like a playbook. Seriously, just like in sports, a company has a whole set of potential moves it can make. And which one they choose depends on the situation, their own strengths, and, this is crucial, the weaknesses of their rivals. But here's the thing, and this is so important. There's no single secret weapon. The real genius is in understanding the entire playbook, knowing which move to make, and just as critically, when to make it. It's that combination of action and timing that creates a truly powerful, almost unfair advantage. So, what's the very first play you gotta call? Well, every single company in a competitive market faces this fundamental choice right out of the gate. Do we go on the attack or do we hunker down and defend? Let's break that down. An offensive strategy is all about actively going out and taking something from a competitor. We're talking market share, top customers, you name it. It's using what you're great at to hit them where they're weak. Defense, on the other hand, is all about protecting what you've already built. You're basically building a fortress, making it too expensive or too difficult for anyone to even think about attacking you. So what does an attack actually look like? Well, there are some classic plays. You could start a price war, offering a better product for less money, or you could innovate like crazy and completely leapfrog them, making their stuff look ancient overnight. Or if you're feeling really aggressive, you can launch a preemptive strike, maybe grabbing a key supplier or a distribution channel to lock them out before they even know what hit them. But there's this really fascinating twist on offense called the blue ocean strategy. The idea here is instead of fighting it out in the bloody red ocean of existing competition, you just create a brand new market, all for yourself. The classic example is Cirque du Soleil, right? They didn't try to be a better circus. They blended theater and acrobatics to create a whole new category of entertainment. It's a brilliant way to make your rivals irrelevant just by sailing off to different waters. Now, let's flip over to the other side of the coin. We need to be really clear about defense. It's not usually how you win the game, but it is absolutely essential for not losing it. The goal here is to lower your risk, discourage would-be attackers, and just blunt the impact of any attack that does manage to get through. It's all about preserving that hard-won advantage you've already built. Okay, so you know what you want to do. You're going to attack or you're going to defend. But that's only half the battle. The next and equally critical question is when, because in strategy, timing can be everything. And this leads us to a classic dilemma. Do you want to be the first mover, the pioneer who's breaking totally new ground? Or is it actually smarter to be a late mover, to hang back and learn from the pioneer's successes and, maybe more importantly, their mistakes? Both of these can be winning strategies, but man, they come with totally different risks. Being first, it can be a massive advantage. I mean, you get to define the entire market. You can build incredible brand loyalty. Think about how we all say Kleenex instead of facial tissue, right? You can even set the technical standard that everybody else is forced to follow, which creates these huge barriers for anyone trying to catch up. But you know, being a trailblazer is really risky, and it's expensive. Sometimes it's actually the second or third company that reaps all the rewards. A late mover can totally sidestep the high R&D costs. They get to see what customers actually want, and then they can swoop in with a more polished, improved version. Basically, they let the pioneer take all the arrows, and then they ride in to capture the territory. All right, let's pull the next play out of our book. This one is all about scope. It asks the question, how much of the entire process, from raw materials all the way to the final customer, should your company actually control? This move is called vertical integration. It's when a company decides, hey, we're going to own more steps in our own supply chain. So for example, a car maker might buy a tire company, or they might buy their own dealerships. The goal is always the same. Get more control, lower your costs, and secure the crucial parts of your business. It really helps to picture this as a chain. So in the middle, you've got your core business, the thing you do best.
If you expand backward and buy your suppliers, like a furniture maker buying a forest, that's called backward integration. And if you expand forward to get closer to your customers, like that same company opening its own retail stores, well, that's forward integration.
But what's interesting is that the exact opposite move can be just as powerful, and that's outsourcing. This is where you intentionally narrow your focus. It's about looking at your business and being honest, admitting, you know what, we're not the best in the world at making this one part or at handling customer service calls. So you hire a specialist who can do it better, faster, or cheaper. That frees you up to double down on what you're truly great at. And that brings us to our final play in the book. You've figured out your attack, you've decided on your timing, you know your scope. The last big question is, do you try to do all this alone, or do you team up? This is where strategic alliances come into the picture. It's basically a formal partnership. The companies stay independent, but they agree to work together on some shared goal. That could be developing new tech, entering a new country, or just combining their different skills to create a better product. And the logic behind doing this is pretty compelling. You get all the benefits of collaboration, but without the massive cost and headache of a full merger. It lets you move fast. You get to share the financial risk with someone else, and you can combine your strengths with a partner's, creating a team that is way more powerful than the sum of its parts. And this brings us right to the ultimate takeaway from all this. There is no single best strategy. The real winning formula is created by a leader who can see this entire playbook: offense versus defense, first mover versus late mover, integration versus outsourcing, going it alone or partnering up, and can intelligently combine these moves into something unique, powerful, and perfectly suited to their specific situation. And that's really what makes all of this so fascinating. The playbook is out there for everyone to see, but the game itself is always changing. So I'll leave you with this. As you watch the companies that you follow, which of these moves do you see them making? And more importantly, what play do you think is going to change the whole game next? Thanks for digging into this with me.